All right. It's been a minute.
So as he gets off the clock, after you see that he is going toe to toe with a fucking vagrant, he's riding his bike home, and Metro decided not to take the guy for whatever fucking reason. Again, with another incident that happened today at MB. This was over at Luxor. He's riding his bike in his uniform, sees the same vagrant, gets off his bike, and beats the shit out of him. So other officers are finding out about this, and they're like, there's video coverage. You think he's getting in trouble? And people are asking me, because I'm in a corporate spot. And I'm like, if nobody says anything.
He's off the clock.
But he's still
He was in uniform.
Yes.
That's where he's fucked.
And I'm like, well, as long as nobody says anything, the biggest thing is what makes it shitty is that when you deal with these incidences, because today I heard the same things. Mm-hmm. Two officers got an altercation with vagrant. It ended up turning into this big scuffle. One of the officers got injured, had to go to Concentra, and Metro just red cards him. Carding him meaning that they give him a citation saying, hey, you committed a misdemeanor, not a felony.
Don't come back.
Don't come back.
86.
Yes, and here you have to show up to court. They're not going to show up to court. My old roommate used to tell me the same thing because she's a cop, and she was saying, she goes, vagrants get a free pass unless it's a felony because realistically the state isn't making any money off of putting them in jail.
You can't do shit with them.
It's three hots and a cot. They want to go to jail, so they'll commit crimes because they know that nothing will come of it.
That's it.
So as an officer now, what the fuck's the point?
Yes.
What am I going to do? Why am I going to go above and beyond to try and commit and do something if I know at the end of the day I'm going to possibly get injured or harmed or maimed? So self-defense, be it, a good thing or a bad thing, the only time that I would see a purpose in trying to implement self-defense is if it's to protect somebody else. Not if someone's stealing shit. I don't give a fuck.
Doing security, that's the problem with doing security, though. When you're a level-headed officer like you and I, we can think our way out of a lot of situations.
I was not always.
We weren't, right. Yes. We weren't.
Especially at my peak, because I was training so much, I was like, when people would challenge me. I'm like,
you
good
would
luck.
step up.
I'm like, good luck.
Let's go.
Yeah. Now it's like, I know how much more I'm capable of.
Exactly. Now that you've been through the shit and you're like, look, I could whoop your ass, but it's not worth it.
No.
It's just not. It's not worth the paperwork. It's not worth the headache. It's not worth the time. When I had a bum that I was trying to protect from getting like this bum and this skater, somehow got an altercation. The bum or the skater hit the bum across the face with the treads of his skateboard.
Oh, shit.
Dude's gushing blood, bleeding blood. Me and my boy Joe, this 6'5" tall corn-fed white boy.
Was that the dude that helped move a while back?
Yes, really tall. Joe.
Yeah. He had those really cool moving straps.
Yes,
I remember that.
I love Miss Joe. And so we're going in, and I'm like, okay, the skater kicks the vagrant's dog, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm trying to help the vagrant, and the dude is yelling at me, spitting his blood in my face. My glasses are getting splattered with blood. And then I have to go to Concentra and get tested for 6 months to make sure I don't have an illness.
It's crazy that everybody that goes to Concentra, it's through third-party damage. Like if you're getting injured and you don't want to go to the hospital, other properties and companies saying, hey, don't do security. They're like, go to Concentra. Concentra will be the one that take care of you. When I've been to Concentra, it's a fucking dumb.
Yes.
It's like the bare minimum.
I had to go, and what was fucked up is I had to go there. I work graveyard, so I worked from 10 to 6. So 6 a.m. I got off shift. I have to go to Concentra. I was there till like 8:30, 9 o'clock. They drew like 3 or 4 vials of blood, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, dude, all of this because I wanted to protect this person. And so
it's not worth it.
Security, unfortunately, it puts you in situations where you only have seconds to make a call. And once the call is made, you have to follow through. You can't back out. And so, having the ability to properly defend yourself from somebody who, and let's be honest, most of these vagrants don't even know you from a can of paint. So it's not like they're targeting you.
No,
you just were that guy on that day.
Like this vagrant was the one from MB was like, literally in the process of going up to a tram to cross over to Luxor with clothing that still had hangers on it.
There you go.
Like they don't care.
There you
go. Crime is getting worse and worse towards like anytime I train a lot of these officers, I don't like the fact is that to sum this up, because this obviously isn't what we're here to talk about, but there's a weird gray area now that I'm seeing from the corporate side.
Yes.
Like the company as a whole doesn't protect their officers when it comes to use of force. But the use of force that they're using is necessary because these criminals or the people that are doing things, they're not abiding by the same rules.
There you go.
Why can they strike and punch and kick and scratch and do all this dirty shit when I'm stuck with the bare minimum of let me try to grapple with you a little bit and hope that it fucking works?
Batman and Joker.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you have to do restriction to be. That's a good aspect of it. Yeah, that honestly is. people want to be a criminal and think that it's justifiable, and then for us, when we're just being vigilantes,
you're trying to help. You know what I mean? And that's what really took me down a dark path.
I will never go back to being an officer. When I'm done with this company, I'm done. I will not. It's just not fucking worth it. Especially when I know if there was legal protection and I knew that I had the ability to do these things without worrying about my job security, 100%. But now, as what I've been hearing from more and more officers, people are getting written up for some of the dumbest things and getting fired for basic shit that I used to do on the daily.
Right.
On property.
Right.
No.
Right.
Man.
But yeah, the whole system's just weird. But other than that, hello, everybody.
Hello.
In case you didn't know, I'm D.
This is Lynn.
We're Project Airwaves. Like, share, subscribe, ring the bell if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching this on Patreon, thank you for your support. We love you. And let's make 2023 amazing.
Oh man, it's right there.
All right, okay. All of our social media and everything will be in the description. I got a book, GoFundMe. We're starting a drive school. Blah blah blah. Let's just jump into it because we got some catching up to do.
We do.
We missed you guys. It's been what, 2-3 weeks? 4 weeks?
Almost 4 weeks.
Almost 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. So we want to fill you guys in on what was going on. We had a Christmas. And
New Year's is right there. You got any plans?
So for those of you who don't know, I've had a big life change come up. This is D speaking. Hi, how are you doing? Love you. So now I'm definitely able to focus more on the podcast and the business we're starting for our drive school. I just want to work. Like, I feel now I have the freedom to actually work. Like, obviously you guys are going to be hearing this now, but down the road, me and Lynn are going to be taking some pictures. I just we just invested in a heat press, so now we can actually start. Like, if you are interested in merch, the pictures we're going to be posting up will be on Instagram, Facebook, everything like that. We're going to be, I got a buddy of mine, shout out to C, that will be taking pictures of us in the new merch, so we can actually physically advertise it out to you. Because the issue, what we were having, not to cut off what he was saying, the issue that we were having with the merch that we were trying to do is there was certain specifics with a lot of these online stores that just were trash. It doesn't work.
We're trying to get certain fabrics. It would be the cost value of trying to ship and sell out to people. We're not making a profit. And people aren't trying to buy $30, $40 shirts. Especially when we're a brand new business. So I've learned, and we've both learned, how to customize and actually make the shirts ourselves. Like actual heat pressing them in.
So we make it upon you requesting.
And there's there's pictures that we already have on Instagram now of shirts that we've already made. So now that we actually are getting a collage of styles and things, and now that we own the heat press, we can actually start making these things in bulk. So if you have any interest in any of this stuff, shoot us an email, put something in the comments, message out to me or D, and we will get you guys out there. We will sell it to you at a very good, reasonable price.
And that's what I mean. I'm able to now focus more on the podcast. So I just got a new design made from Fiverr for us that we're gonna post.
Man, it's cool.
I love it.
I saw it and I spaced it. I was having a bit of a rough week last week. Oh, that's one thing I'll put in here too, that right after this. I got sick for a day or two over some stuff, and then I was having a hard week the week before, and D had messaged me that he put something up on Fiverr for a new design. And I go to open up the design like fucking over a week later, and I look at it, and it looks cool. The overall color and style designs gives me really cool, like Rick and Morty vibes. So I think you guys will like it. We're gonna print it out on just a basic black tee for now to see. Probably on the back, I'm assuming. The biggest thing is that we need to get an emblem for the front.
I was going to say,
and then start like how you have an emblem for the front pocket, and then the print on the back. Yeah, that's what I want to start.
So that's what I want to do, but I want to get a whole bunch of designs so we can get pictures for you guys. I want to push the merch more this year because when me and Lynn, coming into 2022, Lynn said, what do you want to focus on? And I said, we need to focus on content. If nothing else, we need to put out more content so people know who we are, yada, yada, yada. I feel like we've satisfied that. Yes, we haven't grown a whole bunch as far as our subscribers. That's fine because we've maintained those subscribers that we do have. So as far as I'm concerned, our content is working. So now I want to focus more on generating revenue so that we can do bigger and better things. Lynn wants to go to a full video format, which I don't blame him for. We need production equipment. We want to get green screens and soundproofing and studios and blah, 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 blah. As all of y'all know, that takes money. So I want to make sure that we're marketing ourselves so that we can grow whatever this community we have. We grow and get you folks involved. We want to do some outreach stuff. I'm getting into guns now, which no one ever thought, including me, thought I would be doing. me and Lynn are going to be talking about guns, going out shooting, video recording workouts, blah,
Jesus
blah, blah, blah.
Christ.
We got a lot. But no, it's just I want to do more as far as our getting us more known, because me and Lynn have a lot of cool ideas and things that we want to do, and we just don't have the money and or time.
It's the biggest thing is time, and that's one thing I'll take the big credit on, is that I don't know. I'm trying to understand why. I'm assuming it's just because of the career path that I'm in now. I've been in my new position with corporate security for, I hit my year marker already. So I've been with that department. By. Yeah, exactly. But within the year that I've been there has been more stressful than the 6 years I was as an officer, which is fucking crazy. It's just because it's more politics than anything. Yes. But all my energy gets eaten up when I'm there. I'm there all day, and it's so mentally and physically draining that when I get home, I shut down. Yeah. And so to add into this, for a resolution for mine that I really want to get into for the next year, obviously, I need to have a more solid gym schedule, because right now it's just I'll go when I think I need to go, and now it's like, okay, no, I need to go at least twice a week, probably Tuesdays and Thursdays, since I do jiu-jitsu on Monday. Wednesday will be whatever day, probably an episode or something like that. Yes. Friday's normally dinner. And then I'll go to the gym Saturday, Sunday. So 4 days, which isn't bad. Yes. And you can always meet up either Wednesday or Sunday. Oh, yes. So at least there's a consistency with something. I want to do 2 recording days and 4 gym days, and at least know that I have one of the days where it's like I don't do anything. Yes. Because I noticed, I don't know if it was because it was coming to the holidays or just because work's been more stressful. There's this consistency of inconsistency with what I'm doing. And all of it is because I'm so exhausted. Yes. I get home and I want to go to sleep.
Because now that we're older, and we've heard it, of course, from all the older people, the older you get, the more tired you get, and it takes longer to recover. And I notice it myself. I'm not super duper active, but when I do something that's like really physically demanding, I'm good. And then the next day, I just feel like shit.
I'm super lethargic, and that one of the things I was checking on too is that my blood pressure has always been a big issue, because I have high blood pressure.
You're Super Saiyan all the time.
It runs in the family that have high blood pressure, and one of the things that comes with high blood pressure is that you are lethargic. You're tired. I'm more tired than anything because my body's exerting extra work. So I didn't want to get on blood pressure medicine because
was that blood thinners and shit?
It's pretty much that. It's to regulate and thin out your blood to be able to get this in. The downside about it is that if you stop taking it, you're at risk for a stroke or heart attack. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want either one of those. So I looked up for more natural versions of it, and I found
homeopathic.
There you go. Yeah. So there was a homeopathic shop off of Charleston and Rancho, I think. Rancho? Yeah, I remember because there's a Smith's in that parking lot. There's a Quizno Subs across the street. It's down Charleston. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a rough spot.
Oh, no, I know. Okay,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, wherever the UMC and shit is over there.
Yeah. So I found that spot, and I found some stuff, and
That's Decatur.
Is it Decatur?
That's Decatur.
No.
That's Decatur.
No.
Yes.
No, it's farther down. It's farther down. It's Rancho.
It's Rancho. Okay, yeah. That's fair.
Anyways, just I noticed. I've been taking it for a couple weeks now, and I noticed not so much the energy increase, but I noticed that I'm sleeping more thoroughly. Like I don't have to go up to use the bathroom because my body's actually using this stuff more frequently. I'm gonna get my blood tested once I've ran through the dose amount of it, and it was like $25. No big deal. Rather than, and I can get off of it without my body being like, I fucking need this. It's hey, this is helping. Let's see if it goes. Right. So I'm gonna get my blood tested again in the next couple weeks and see.
I got back on T boosters.
Did you?
Yeah, but I'm not doing the full. What is it? They say like 2 pills 2 times a day, no more than 4 pills a day.
Have you had your test?
I'm taking like 1 a day.
Checked though?
I haven't.
No. So I had mine checked because I wanted to know what was going on with my sleep and all that bullshit. Yeah. And my T levels are high. So on a spectrum, I'm don't attack me in any of the comments, stuff like that. I'm not a fucking doctor when it comes to this.
These aren't steroids.
From what I looked into, an average for males is like the low being 200s and the high being like 1,000, like max 1,000, low 2, and I was at 780.
Oh, nice.
780, which is above average, more or less, because my drive's good, my energy should be good because my T levels are high. But then I was like, why the fuck am I tired? And I looked into it, it's because my blood pressure's high. So I'd say the T stuff that you can get from places, it's a testosterone increase. It's not a replacement.
Right. So that's why I'm not taking the 2 pills 2 times a day. I'm taking 1 pill a day.
Yeah.
Just 1.
You notice anything?
When it comes to me doing anything physical, yes. It feels like my body is more willing to do that thing. So like we have a treadmill and all of a sudden, right after talking to you the last time I recorded, I started incorporating my weights. So I'll walk a mile, get off, take some weights, do some squats, some lunges, some dips, shoulder presses, shoulder raises, all that shit. I'll just do a quick little cycle, hop back on the treadmill. I've noticed that my body is more quick to kind of bounce back.
I hate this man's body. I hate it so much because he can put on weight and within less than a month, his genetics reconfined, and then he becomes, I'm staring at like Warren right now, you become a fucking space marine. All of a sudden, boom, chest blows out, arms get big, shoulders get big, and he's able to start slimming down on the drop of a fucking hat.
It's a thing. I never wanted to lose weight. I want to lose fat.
Yeah.
And so I always like doing things the hard way, but it's more of a, like you said, it's genetics. It's how my body is built. So it wants to do these things. So now
that's a big thing, is knowing that you can't, your body genetically won't let you stay overweight.
Yes.
Because if it wanted that, you would have a
I'd be
really
huge as
shitty and
fuck.
slow. You'd have a slow metabolism.
Yes.
You'd have no energy to train.
Right.
But when you do train, and I've trained with him before, your energy is there. You want to
Yes.
fucking, if anything, you have to tone back on your training.
Yes.
Because you overtrain.
Yes.
But the consistency to be able to do that, like I'm opposite. My body's like, stay fat, don't work out. We don't want you to get strong. You're injured. Like I trained yesterday. I trained chest and shoulders, but I was getting pain in my trap in my neck because I've been rehabilitating the tear in my shoulder, but I'm still having pains.
Right.
Like my body's like, my neck is hurting and I'm doing a chest press.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why. And I'm like, well, now I have to change the workout.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's my body saying, hey, I don't want you training like this.
Yes.
But it's like, I have to, because my job requires me to be actively.
Exactly. So and that's the difference between you and me, though.
Yeah.
I have more of a carefree, laissez-faire attitude when it comes to the gym. You do it more of a necessity now.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, we could just blow off the gym. It's like, okay, we're not going today. We'll go tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now it's a necessity for you. So yeah, it feels like it requires more mentally from you. Like, damn it.
It's
like
the mental
another job.
energy. Like yesterday, I felt good when I got to the gym. I hadn't gone in a while. I've been training with my brother now. He's actively pursuing fitness and getting into.
Kudos, Noah.
Yeah,
you fucking
man.
beast, man.
I need to look out the thing. I want to do a shout out for anybody that's listening. If you are trying to find a new up and coming coach, please check out Coach NT702. He's slowly uploading episodes now on Instagram. Just good little tutorials, voiceovers, breaking down fitness, and his knowledge is up there, man. For him, at his age,
yes.
When I was his age, I didn't know near as much as he knows now.
If we had the shit now, back when me and you first started going to the gym, we would have been Bradley Martin.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that it's good, the content and him being able to actually push these things out there and showing the ability to train. Like when he's telling you he's training, he'll be training like 6 days a week.
Yes.
Consistently.
And Noah's a beast.
And it's like with my energy, it's like fuck.
You guys have seen Noah. I put in our episodes the B-roll of us hiking. You've seen Noah. He
yeah, and we also have an episode 2. It's like episode 52. We did the takes 3 savages to make a podcast. Yeah. Good stuff. Moving forward.
Yeah, we'll definitely be doing some collaboration stuff like that down the road. Because like I said, I want to get videos with Lynn doing his workouts, me getting back into the gym now that I have some time. I wanted to be able to not only tell you how to better yourself physically, but show you. Just like everybody else. Yes, there's hundreds of thousands of workout videos out there, but we want to give our 2 cents. And, I want to be able to show people what Lynn is talking about. So when he's talking about his tennis elbow, or how he hurt his shoulder, and he has to modify his workouts or maneuver them differently, you can see it. So that would be cool. Something for us to kind of give you some juicy meat to sink your teeth into.
Why don't we make this into a 3-piece?
Oh, no, we're going to. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up.
Yes, sir.
That was our welcome back.
Hello.
Give us a thumbs up. Give us a like, whatever you want to fucking call it. Ring the bell. Subscribe. All descriptions are in the links down below. I'm D. We will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
So long.
We'll talk about it. Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome back.
Hello.
This one's going to be so fucking fun because I'm livid and Lynn's intelligent, so he's going to give you the educated version.
I got bits and pieces of it. It's not super educated, but I had to hear it from my brother. What was it? It was on like a couple days before Christmas. It was Thursday. My brother had mentioned it, how Warner Brothers fucking pulled the carpet underneath all of us and
you idiots
ripped out everything. No more Henry Cavill, no more Dwayne The Rock Johnson, no more Black Adam. There was other things on there too.
Oh, no, there's
Justice
a bunch.
League, no nothing.
They're pretty much only keeping Suicide Squad, the one with Harley Quinn.
And Batman.
Nah, I heard Batman's kind of iffy.
I
heard Batman's up in...
And that Batman was good.
At least not the new guy.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, not him.
Really?
They're not keeping him.
See, man, and that's what fucking sucks.
Yes.
It's like I'm noticing now more, and I keep relating it back to that South Park episode where Stan is going through a growth spurt, and everything's
not funny.
Everything tastes like shit. Have you seen that episode?
Yes.
Where he's like, yeah, here's the new episode of this.
It's just shit.
And it's just people shitting on the fucking mic.
Yes.
And he's like, he eats everything, it tastes like shit. He looks at everything, it looks like shit. It smells like shit.
Okay, the cereal got me. I was
where they're just eating shit. Yeah, no. So it sucks that everything that's coming out now, I can't just generally enjoy or watch it because there's some form of political or social, woke or
social justice,
wokeness, LGBTQ behind everything. Like I enjoyed the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was good. Yeah, it was good for what it was. But then
Rings of Power.
Rings of Power.
Oh yeah.
It was good for what it was because I went in with it not giving a fuck about what was going on. I had no expectations.
That's fair.
Now hearing why people hated it, and how all the other episodes are going to be like that now, but even more because they purposely decided to get rid of most of the male directors, cast, and now it's all female. I'm like, okay, well that fucking shoots it down.
And The Witcher.
The Witcher made, what is it called? Blood Origins?
Blood Origins. That looks terrible.
It got a 9%.
Yes. Because it looks terrible.
We don't
need. So here's the thing: we don't need the bullshit. Like I told people before, if you don't understand why somebody's doing something, it's probably because they're doing it intentionally. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't make sense to you and me while they're putting out this garbage because we're like, this is not what the fans want.
No,
but that's what they want us to think everybody else wants till we just go with it.
Yeah,
it's not gonna work. So I saw Black Adam this past weekend. I'm late to the game. Don't give a shit. I'm here now. That movie was beautiful. Mm-hmm. I know some people had their gripes. That movie was beautiful. I did not like Hawkman, Hawk Guy, whatever his name was.
Yeah, he was good.
I liked the actor that played him. Yeah. I didn't like the character of him because here's the thing. When you have a understanding of a character's background, this wasn't like a brand new movie. We didn't know any of the heroes. You know, they're kind of setting everything up from scratch.
Right.
Black Adam is a well-grounded character. So is Hawk Guy, Hawkman, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Black Adam is on par with Superman.
Yeah.
Hawkman is not on par with Superman.
But so you remember
durability, yes.
So no, not durability wise, because you remember DC, not DC, the Justice League, the old cartoon. They used to have a Hawkgirl.
Yep.
And Hawkgirl wasn't built like a fucking tank, but that mace would fucking hit hard. Right. And it was a magic infused mace, which is what Superman's weak
to, right?
But not Black Adam
is magic.
Yes. But that's the reason why, Black Adam was taken on and tearing up.
And that's what I mean. I liked the movie for what it was worth. It was cool. Action, boom, boom, boom. The Rock, you beautiful, gorgeous man.
Killed it.
Oh,
fucking killed it.
From start to finish. Like, he carried the movie on his back. If they hadn't got him that movie, other than maybe Pierce Brosnan.
As Doctor Strange, Dr. Fate,
But my issue was at the end of the movie, the after credits, where baby girl is trying to talk down to Black Adam. She's like, you're gonna comply. And he was like, no. She's like, I will call in the strongest heroes on Earth. He's like, send
no, because he said a comment. She goes, nobody on this planet can take me.
Yeah.
And she's like, I got a few connections.
Yeah. She's like, I'll send whatever I got. Yeah. He's like, send them. Boom, Superman. Mm-hmm. I lost it.
Yes.
However, my elation was quickly castrated, put into chains, dunked underwater, and kicked in its leftover testicles when I remembered that Henry Cavill not only walked away from Witcher, shortly after walking away from Witcher and announcing that he was about to be Superman again,
they fired him.
James Gunn said, you know what, Cat? We're going to go in the other direction. We don't need you.
Yeah.
Bro, you
The Rock
fucking stupid?
The Rock fought for him and said, we need the Superman. We don't have a choice.
First of all, I don't know if these people weren't children before. I don't know if these people don't know who the fucking Rock is.
I don't know where they would go.
When you have The Rock who wants to square up with somebody. Here, perfect example. The Rock and Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious. That was the greatest square up ever. When they were on that plane, everybody was duking out.
Oh, yeah.
UFC. That was amazing. That's what everybody wanted. We wanted Vin Diesel and The Rock to go at it. Now you have The Rock who's a anti-hero, so he's in the perfect position to have a just all-out fucking fight with somebody, and Superman, the perfect actor, Henry Cavill, who looks like he was born to be Superman,
right?
And you don't give it's like, bro, you blue ball.
They're doing that a lot. There's a lot of shows that are coming through now
because they're wasting these perfectly good actors because these guys only have contracts for 3 or 4 movies,
until
4 or 5
they can
movies.
Get them through. Exactly. It's the same thing with like any kind of Marvel and DC. That was their last grab at anything. And Warner Brothers fucked it because now they're like, well, now they have nothing.
Well, they want to shift their focus to a younger audience, but why would you want a younger audience when the younger audience don't make the money? Your older audience pays you.
Technically, not anymore. Not anymore. Most of it's all younger audience.
Yes,
now
but
it's all woke.
But the younger audience isn't the one with the money, and that's what they're seeing.
They are.
They're turning a small profit.
They're making a bigger profit because you're think about it like this. If you were to compare the most current TikToker, right?
Yes.
Someone that's making multi-million dollars versus, I don't know, who's a modern...
TikTok ain't paying them, though. That's brand deals. TikTok isn't paying anybody.
I'm just saying they're known through TikTok.
Right.
Their brand deals makes them multi-millionaires. Yes. Where there's certain TikTokers that are brand new to everything. They don't do anything other than whatever the bullshit that they do on there through brands and stuff like that. Like make fucking commercials.
Yeah.
They're making more money now than like a Robert De Niro, like a Sylvester Stallone.
In some cases, yes.
And because of that, and because there's more of them, we only have a couple golden celebrities in our era and time.
Yes.
In future-wise.
The good ones, yes.
Now there is a huge amount of successful younger people.
But their success is solely dependent upon the people who follow them.
There's still success, and it's all younger people.
It is, and I'll give you that, but here's the problem. Where did they get their success? No, that's not. I can't say it like that. So let's speak purely on comics. If it wasn't for who got you into comics, like DC cartoons and stuff like that, did you just kind of discover that on your own?
So there was two people. My biological dad, he got me into X-Men, specifically Wolverine, when I was way young. There was a guy, I don't know what his name was. My mom was married to a guy before my dad now, before Notch. There was a house that they had. I could literally like walk to where it's at now. I remember where it's at. They had a roommate in there for whatever reason, and this roommate was renting out that room, and he was big on comic books. And I remember he gave me my first comic book, and the comic book that I had, it was Superman, but Superman had lightning powers. It was like Superman, like way down the road, where he'd gotten a different ability. To where his ability was now, and it was cool because
might have been Superman 1,000,000.
It was like the comic book had this really cool.
Was he black?
No, he was white.
He was white.
He was white, but his suit was blue and white, and his hair was like normal style, but he had lightning coming out of his eyes. Yeah, and he had the ability to use lightning to travel and stuff like that. But he's practically a god at that point. Yes. Way stronger.
Sounds
than
like Superman 1,000,000 potentially.
I'd have to look up and see what it was, but I remember that was where I got it from.
Might have been Secret Wars.
I don't even know how that transpired. I just remembered the design of the comic book because he pulled it out of a nice clean package. It had like engravings on the front of the page and stuff like that. I wish I knew what I did with it.
So my point was, it was an older cat.
Much older. He's not dead now. He's probably in his 70s.
I got into comics. Yeah. My mom, it's kind of funny too. My mom was dating this guy. My brother would he collected baseball cards and whatever. My brother would steal his stuff. He had this room dedicated to comics. Walked in, everything was in a beautiful vacuum sealed plastic container,
plastic bags that you're not.
And it was on like a shelf or whatever. That's how I got into like comics and the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and all types of stuff like that. So what I mean is, it's the old folks who come before you that get you hyped because they're feeding you the stuff. Me and you, there's no way we can read 20 years of comics in a short amount of time to get all the information out there. We get that from the older cats who've already read. They go, oh no, don't worry about that.
Read this. I agree with you on that, because one of the things I wanted to show you that I was going to show you afterwards was the side note
where Mr. Cavill is going.
Yes, the bonus of where he's going. Yes. For any of my nerds out there, I'm sure a good amount of people know what this is. Yes. Warhammer 40K. Oh my God, I knew about it a long time ago, back in middle school. Yes. Because back when we were younger, there were little figurines. There were little figurines. That people would take the time to fucking paint.
Yes, I remember.
And you had Yu-Gi-Oh, you had Pokemon, you had all of that.
Digimon, whatever.
Warhammer was the expensive version.
It was like Dungeons and Dragons.
You would get 7 or 8 of these Space Marines, these fucking tanks and Iron Man suits, these soldiers that were not. Like, an average man would be 6 foot. A Space Marine was 8 to 10 feet. Right. Because they were genetically grown to be big.
They were Master Chief.
They would put them in Master Chief armor. Yes. And you would buy that from a store called GameWorks. And GameWorks is still around now. And 6 figurines were like $30. which is a lot as a kid, and you would have to paint them.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, this is way too much for me as a kid.
Yeah, of
but
course.
I would see some of my friends would go do this. They would make this massive board.
Yep.
Huge thing. They would fill up a whole fucking room in their garage, and they would move these pieces around.
Yes.
And I was fascinated by it. But I was like, realistically, being poor
Didn't
as a kid,
understand it. Yeah.
I'm like, I can't afford any of this shit.
Yeah.
I can't play any of this. Looking at it now, within the last couple of weeks, I kind of got back into it after I found out Henry was going into that.
Yes.
And seeing it, man, it's going to be so fucking cool to watch because Amazon Prime took him.
Well,
so Prime is going to fund him for it.
Henry Cavill is like Keanu Reeves, who's kind of like Tom Cruise. They put their whole heart.
They're genuine people when it comes to their stuff.
I didn't watch The Witcher, but watching reviews of The Witcher and watching how Henry Cavill
it was good.
learned how to dual sword wield, upside down, right side up swords at the same fucking time, just so he could be like Geralt, is like, bro, that's fucking attention to detail, and that's a love for your craft. He didn't want to just go in and half-ass it.
What's going to happen now, and it's no different, like I was listening to Joe Rogan not too long ago about how anything that's going to come out good has to be independently done. Because if you're going through a big corporation like Warner Brothers or Disney or stuff like that,
they have their own agenda.
They have their own agenda. And that's why Henry got out. That's why anybody that isn't like an actually diehard fan of what it is that we want to watch, nostalgia-wise, it's going to get fucking remade and copyrighted into bullshit.
Don't mind my 6-year-old. He's cracked out on some type of sugar.
This is why we shouldn't be doing episodes
You know what? That's why we're trying to get more people signed up to our Patreon so we can get ourselves a studio. Thank you in advance.
We will be doing the video ones pretty soon, which I'm looking forward to. But yeah, Warhammer 40K I think will be pretty dope. If Henry actually gets the budget to come through, it'll be worth it.
Yes.
It's just making sure that's going to be a while from now.
Oh no, we're talking nothing, good 5-10 years.
I was trying to find shows to watch because I had the last week off from work because my fucking travels got canceled. But trying to find actual legit shows, I'm like, dude, I can't watch anything.
I found one good show. It's called Blood of Zeus, and we'll be right back. So it's called The Blood of Zeus, and it's great because it's an animated show. And it's about
I saw
the retelling of not Hercules, but it's like
Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's like Zeus had another illegitimate child.
I'm talking like not a cartoon based. I haven't found really any bad.
I haven't found
animated
anything,
but live action shows.
Nothing.
There's nothing.
And maybe it's because there's too much out there to sample. And that's kind of why I missed the good old days, I guess you could say. Where it was like everybody was watching this one show or this lineup of shows. Now, half of these shows I'm like, I don't care about, like Andor, which was one of the Star Wars spinoffs.
You know what? I was watching The Mandalorian, and The Mandalorian was good. It's okay. If I have time to binge, I'll binge and sit and watch.
Right.
A
lot of these shows are one-offs. You're only getting maybe 8 episodes, maybe one season, and then it's gone.
It's like I can't be hooked on something because then I know they're just going to take it away from me.
Right. Have you seen The Magicians?
No.
You should watch it. I think it's on Netflix, or they might have moved it to Hulu.
It sounds familiar.
It's amazing. You'll love it because it's like Naruto but with magic.
You know what? The last not decent, but shows that I was watching that had a long track. Green Arrow.
Oh, I didn't.
Really
the
good.
Arrowverse.
Yeah,
I never
The Flash.
got into that.
I followed that for a while, and it was really good.
Did they cancel The Hood?
No, they actually finished it.
They did
8 seasons, and they got it all the way to the end. Where they did it so well. Where in the beginning he starts off as Arrow, and then he becomes the Green Arrow, like a vigilante, and they get all the way to the end where they actually kill him off.
Oh wow!
So they did it from start to finish in such a good way.
Nice.
That was the last good. And each season had 27 episodes. And each episode was an hour long.
Nice.
So they took the time to make it. The Flash was getting there too. And then the wokeism bullshit kind of took over.
Homeboy lost his fucking mind.
So they lost everything. No, not that. That's
that's the other Flash.
That's the other Flash. They can't even do anything with that Flash. They put him in DC. And next thing you know, he's in...
Ezra Miller?
He's in fucking Hawaii attacking people with machetes and shit. Yeah,
he's a weird one.
So, yeah.
He's
just
a weird one.
Getting sidetracked on shit.
Sorry.
That's all I got for this. Yeah, shit.
All right, so something really quick I want to touch on, and it's partially Lynn's fault and partially my boy Dale's fault. So, Dale, you take 50% responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting into guns. And
I spoke to you about this a while back.
No, you've been beating me over the head for
a little
years.
Now, it's going to be controversy. You're going to get people that are going to be anti.
Of course.
Pro, so you obviously have to be
that's why I want to talk about it.
Particular.
Yes.
Go ahead. I'll let you start.
Well, no, I mainly want to bring it up because as I've talked about in previous episodes, who does not like guns, but I come from a very gun-oriented family. obviously it didn't cause any issues between me and my family members, but it was always a point of confusion. It's just like, okay, the world's kind of progressing in a weird direction. You want to make sure you can take care of your friends and family. You take care of yourself, yada, yada, yada. And it didn't really click until I would say 2021, where I really started considering a gun. And then the mass shootings happens and Uvalde happened. And now all of a sudden we're seeing a rise of civilians killing criminals, like in the act of through self-defense. We're seeing kind of a rise, a ticking up of crime. And so that really pushed me over the edge. But what kind of got me started was Lynn. Of course, he's kind of been a gunman and getting into security. He's really been hands-on with the firearms. And then my boy Dale, he lives over in Cali. And of course, they have their own restrictions and rules and regulations. So he came down here, took me out shooting over near the prison. And so just all of that combined has kind of helped sway me. And it's not even to the dark side, because I won't call it the dark side. There is nothing wrong with carrying a gun to protect yourself, your friends, and your family, or even a stranger. That's what we should do. That comes with me. It goes with my mantra of loving yourself and your fellow man. So as much as I want to protect my well-being, I want to protect yours and his and hers too.
I agree. So a gun is a tool at the end of the day. It's not anything. You're going to get a lot of guys that are hardcore gun nuts. They're owning like 50, 60 different fucking guns. That's too much. I don't need, like, I'll see videos or people talking about how they have just walls of different ARs and different stuff like that. And every gun has a purpose for what it needs to be doing. I do believe in guns. I'm an advocate of civilians owning them as their own personal protection, because I'd rather have it than not need it, than need it than not have it. Agreed. I don't need a rifle or anything like that, because I'm not trying to do any kind of fucking long range combat. But obviously it's going to suck if someone comes into my house and they got any form of an AR, any kind of fully automatic weapon or semi, and I've got nothing, a fucking butter knife, and maybe my Glock if I'm lucky. So there are times and measures for this. I do think it's a good advocate to know how to use any form of firearm. That's why I was pitching it towards D, just because shit's getting worse here in town. It'd be different if we lived in a part of town not a part of town, but in a state where the world wasn't so aggressively becoming more and more hostile. You're getting more beanies, especially for where you guys live, which is just blatantly, not to give out his address, but it's in the fucking front of a street.
It's close, yeah.
You're not tucked away. Like, I've had people, like, when I was prior to, like, staying in apartments, people like, oh, I'm afraid of getting robbed. I'm like, in order for you to get robbed in your apartment, someone has to go through a whole complex, know you, whoever's robbing you knows where you live, opposed to a random breaking and entering. People have to, this is a quick little story that I'll run to. So 10 years ago, probably 10 years ago, it was on Christmas. I had my girlfriend Emily at that time. You remember her, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, from, what was it, Tilly's? It was me, her, and my mom. We were having Christmas at that house. The one before that.
Your house. Where you lived with your family.
With my family,
yes, on Westcliff.
Old one. Wasn't, Westcliff, right? So, I don't know where Notch was. I don't know why he wasn't there. But the three of us were there. And it was in a neighborhood, right? Now, we were inside this house. And I couldn't have been any older.
Shit, I think I remember you telling me about this.
I couldn't have been any older than...
What, 6? No, 18?
19.
Yeah.
Maybe 20,
yeah.
Right? No background, anything. I wasn't training or doing anything whatsoever.
No.
So I remember the back side of the house. You have your front door. You have a gate that anybody can just walk up, flip the fucking latch, and go in the backyard.
Yeah.
And leading to that backyard, there was a pair of French doors that led to this add-on of the house.
Yep.
And it wasn't a fancy house, but whoever had the house before built an add-on to it.
Yeah.
So we kept hearing knocking at the front door. And we saw... My mom goes to look through the door and sees this really tall vagrant. Back in the day, I didn't know what a vagrant was, but it was a tall homeless dude. Probably 6'3".
Shit.
Dusty, banging on the door, just spouting nonsense, right? So my mom calls cops because this guy's just slamming on the door. And then he leaves. Don't see him for a minute. Metro took, like 20 minutes to get there. So we thought that he left. So my mom was going to go call to cancel. He walked around, flipped the latch to go through the gate to our backyard and starts slamming himself against the French doors to get in through the house. Mind you, it's me, 19, my girlfriend at that time, and my mom. And so I thing to go out there. I'm like, okay, I'd look for the closest thing I could find, which was like
I think you had like a knife or a sword or something?
It wasn't even that. It was like a little stick. Like a baton, like a little miniature baton. It was a little fucking stick. I go out there. And I open the door to make contact, and I look up, and I'm like, this dude is fucking big. And he does, obviously, he's disoriented, he doesn't know where the fuck he's at. He's slamming into the door so hard that he's bleeding from his head.
What the fuck?
So my mom grabs me and pulls me back in. He tries to come through. My mom fucking pretty much kicks him. Kicks him to knock him back down. She locks the door, and he starts hitting the door twice as fucking hard. And then Metro comes. He stumbles back towards the front. They draw on him, put him in the front of doors, put him in restraints, have us come out to ID and confirm who he is, and then take him off to jail. Whole point of that is, would the situation have changed had I had a firearm?
Yes.
Now, the scary thing when it comes to using a firearm is that
there's laws.
Am I justified someone trying to break in? Yep. Yes. You're justified.
Yes.
But as a 19-year-old ready to take somebody's life like that?
That's the thing. That's
am I justified going out and shooting him?
Right.
Or did he need to break in order for me to fucking shoot him?
Right.
So it's a weird area of the firearm that you're getting has to be a last line of defense. It can't be your first. So my big advocate of it is, and this is me now knowing more efficiently how to kind of work with the system because I work with law enforcement so closely. Hand-to-hand is very important.
Yes.
You need to know how to grapple. Yes. Any kind of grappling, any kind of risk control. You don't need to sit there and strike and box and do all this bullshit. But basic grappling is very, very important. Cardio is king. You're going to tire out. I could grapple with D. D's bigger and stronger than me, most likely. I have a little bit more strength because of my consistency in training, conditioning-wise, but it's not going to be strength that's going to be me beating him. And the last thing I want to do is pull to a gun and put him down. I know that my conditioning will beat him because I'm actively doing something. But if he starts attacking me, yes, and he gets a weapon and starts attacking me, it doesn't matter what conditioning is. If he pulls a knife on me, I have to pull a gun.
There you go.
So I would rather know that if I'm physically not able to control you with my conditioning and my grappling, and then I have a backup resort, then I'm good. That's where the firearm comes to play. D is now going to be investing into a business where he has something he needs to protect.
Right.
So a firearm is a very, very good thing to be secure, but you have to know that when you're pulling that trigger, it comes with...
You have to have a purpose. You know, my grandfather taught me early on, when you draw a gun, because we would go hunting a lot, so he taught me how to use a .22, and he always had rifles. He had a shotgun, some type of rifle, 40-06, and blah, 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 blah. He taught me, when you draw a gun... mainly when we were hunting deer, when you draw a gun, you better be ready to shoot. That's the whole point of a gun, is to shoot and to kill and or disable the target you're pointing that gun at. My mom, of course, working for Metro herself, she reverberated the same thing. When you draw a firearm, especially if you're pointing at another human being, you better be ready to pull that trigger. No point in having a gun if you're not, like you said, if you don't have the testicular fortitude to make the call to pull to fire the shot. And so that's what pulled me away from guns for the longest time, is because, like you said, I didn't know if I had the fortitude to take a life. Now, looking at it from the other perspective of somebody trying to take my life or a loved one's life, I don't want to be that guy that said, well, I could have protected them, but I was too afraid to own a gun, and now they're gone, or something traumatic happens, and now, you know, they're traumatized, I'm traumatized, and it all could have been, you know, decided by the pull of a trigger. I don't want that happening. And like I said, just keeping ourselves educated, looking at the news, looking at the reports, it does appear as though crime is on the rise, and I don't want to be that guy.
It's so bad.
I don't want to be that guy.
So bad. I mean, I just spoke about it not too long ago on our last episode. It's like I'm obviously not in the best part of town, but this was broad fucking daylight.
Oh yeah,
that a homeless person decides they decides that he wants to try and take my keys.
Right.
And it's like, had it not been me and somebody else that wasn't, he could have fucking snatched that shit, probably fucking hit the person and ran and stole her shit. But because, like I said, I have the ability to physically defend myself, to where I wouldn't need a gun for that situation, but would I have been in the right to shoot him? Right? It's hard.
Necessarily,
if he's taking my personal shit,
but your life wasn't in danger.
That becomes a thing. Is a life expectancy of being in danger. Like I always carry a pocket knife with me, so I always have a knife and stuff like that, and I could cut or stab somebody once, and as long as it's not anything vital, I can probably get away with it. But with a gun, it's like you can't choose the limit of how far that bullet's going to travel.
I was going to say, what the bullet goes through him and hits somebody else.
If he grabbed me, I could have pulled my knife and cut his arm to get him to let go, and then that would have been the end of that.
Right.
And I'm comfortable doing that.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
I can't have him grab me go and rack around in his fucking stomach, and then I'd be like, all right, did you learn your lesson? And then he's dead.
Right.
Like there's more to it. So.
And that's what I mean. We're going to be getting CCW certified.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make sure the guns are registered, yada, yada, all that fun stuff. I now see a better reason to have it rather than to not. So while I still don't like guns per se, I understand the logic, and I'm more willing to put that part of me to the side and be like, for the greater good, for the greater good of my family and the potential future of my young one here, I would rather put a round or two in somebody to put them down rather than to see them suffer and or also lose their lives because I couldn't act.
Right.
Or I didn't act. So that's where I'm coming from with that. So, I'm not one of those guys that's like, guns. And like I said, I've talked about this multiple times about how I don't like guns, but I understand their purpose. I respect the people who use them, and I respect the people who use them responsibly even more. So that's the route I'm going to be going down. But like I said, me and Lynn, I'll definitely be recording some videos of us going to the shooting range. The gun I get right now, I'm looking at the MNP Shield 2.0. I want to get that. We'll be throwing some rounds through that. You'll be seeing him fire his favorite gun. You said it's a Glock?
Yeah, I have a Glock 17 Gen 3.
Glock 17.
Mine's a little bit more modified, so it's gonna
broken in.
I've used it quite a few times.
So I wanna do just like was it Honest Outlaw and some of those other people where it's like put 1,000 rounds to it, break it in, break it down, clean it, do all that stuff. So I'm that guy now. I'm the responsible one.
Agree.
And just keep it on pushing.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's all I got. You got anything else for this one?
That's it.
Okay, we're gonna go off and we're gonna see what part 3. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. It's the end of the year. What the hell is he doing?
Christmas time
has passed. And that's about to be 2023.
You know what? And I wanted to should have done this earlier, but again, I wasn't sure that I was going to be traveling.
Yeah.
I wanted to do like a quick holiday picture, get some fucking Christmas hats, be goofy with it.
Yeah.
And we didn't get around to that.
It's okay.
So
we'll do it
next year.
We'll do it next year
for sure. But
and I'm definitely gonna make a 420 episode, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Look forward to that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just gonna give you a quick rundown of what we're expecting for 2023, our hopes, dreams, wishes, and resolutions. Lynn, go.
2023, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it going to be 2020?
2023. Things have changed. My biggest thing that I needed to do this year for 2022 was get my home.
Right.
I officially have what I needed. I got a new home. I got a new vehicle. So I am now locked in a better position where I'm able to kind of move forward with the next steps. Obviously, the podcast was still good, touch and go as much as possible just because of work and stuff. Now that I'm in a newer position, a lot of things have changed within the year. Now I want to progress for things that I want. Like I said, I want consistency with what my scheduling is. I want consistency with this. I want consistency with my training. I do want to get back into being more active in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited with that, with one of the girls in it now, and she's a fucking beast, and the other one talking about trying to get into it. It'd be nice to kind of lump it all together in one big family thing.
Yeah.
It's just making sure that my body can hang along with that, because I'm always fucking injured, and that was what becomes the goddamn chore. I don't know. Home's there, semi-healthy, job's okay. But for the new year, it would be just, the podcast thriving and running so I don't have to work as fucking hard.
Yes.
And my fitness of training, both in strength training and grappling, being more about, because I feel like this year took a lot of energy.
Yes.
And I'm hoping going forward I won't be as tired as I am now.
Well, and I think now that I've really had time to sit on that, because you're right, it's been 2021, 2022 were probably the most exhausting years mentally. With COVID, getting back to work, dealing with people, COVID scares, new COVID variants, all this new information, and the masks and the shots and the boosters and the social distancing and the I forget, locking yourself up. Just all of that is just a lot. So I think a lot of us are just mentally recovering still from COVID.
Yeah, it's going on the third year now. People are still getting it.
I got
a lot of coworkers that have it right now. I've already had it, and it's running through. It's gonna be a part of our lives for pretty much the rest of our lives.
Probably
because
ever.
It's a variant. It is what it is. It's just in D's right. I wasn't this 2020 down. I never remember being this mentally exhausted.
Yes. Oh, agreed.
And 2020 up, things just seem so much harder.
Yes.
And it's getting me to the point where it's like I can physically handle a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I can go through a lot of different things. There's not a lot of scenarios that I'm like, okay, I know I can do this because I'm physically able to. It's, do I have the mental gas tank to be able to run it?
Right.
Because I could be at work doing fucking nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Which is rare, but I could have a day where I'm not doing a goddamn thing and I go home and all I want to do is sleep.
Yes.
And that's not normal.
Yes.
With me being active and only being 33, it shouldn't be like that.
It's weird.
So that's why I was like, we were just talking about is that, I got my blood level tested. I got my testosterone tested. I got everything tested to check to see. I'm like, why am I tired all the time?
Mm-hmm.
I did a sleep test. I've yet to go check to see if I might have sleep apnea or something like that. But
I think you're
sum it all up to just mental exhaustion. And I'm
Yes.
hoping that the next year over won't be as much.
Yes.
That mental exhaustion isn't going to be the downfall of me being productive and progressive.
Right. And that's where I had to take a break, from the workforce, is just because I was so mentally exhausted with not only dealing with the day-to-day, but now I got to deal with, okay, is my boy sick? Is my girl sick? Am I sick? Am I getting them sick? Blah, 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 blah. It was just too much. And so now that I'm taking that step back, by the grace of God,
Mm-hmm.
I can reevaluate what's going on, where I'm putting my energy, what I'm doing with my life. 2023, I want that to be a year of focus, a year of clarity, where it's like, okay, I'm on this path for this purpose. I'm dedicating this much time and energy to this thing, and that's it. I want to get back into being more physically active. I want to get back into going to the gym. But like Lynn said, I was so mentally exhausted from taking stupid ass calls for 8 hours a day, saying the same thing, repeating myself over and over and over, hearing people gush about dumb shit. It was just, it was so much that, like Lynn said, as soon as I clocked out, and I worked from home, as soon as I clocked out, I sat in my office chair and fell asleep. Mm-hmm. I would just fall asleep, just gone.
I never understood mental exhaustion because I remember when I lived with my prior roommate, Naomi, she would tell me all the time, like, I used to not give her shit, but I'd be an officer at MB, just roaming around doing 10,000 steps,
right,
15,000 steps, fighting and dealing with all the bullshit. And I would come home tired. And when she'd say she was tired, I'd look at her like, "What are you tired from? You're not doing anything. You're at home all day." And then seeing now into a corporate aspect, having to sit at a desk and having to do this, I was like, man, this fucking sucks. I could not. I don't know how you and her worked from home for so long. That just would kill everything that I have.
There's
was
a struggle.
Nothing, unless I'm making six figures, I feel like you gain nothing from doing that because working from home is not as good as it sounds.
And it wasn't, I'm a loner, so I'm used to being, I'm an introvert, so I can deal with being alone.
Yeah.
But when I'm in a profession where I'm supposed to be surrounded by people, it became a point where I was so disassociated from just everything going on. It was just detached voices. Mm-hmm. Everybody sounded the same. Mm-hmm. All the men sounded the same. All the women sounded the same. All their names looked the same. All their problems were the same. And I just felt like I was living in the Matrix. So I was like, huh. They're like, what? I'm like, oh, that cat. It just went.
Yeah.
I saw it. It was like deja vu.
You became Neo from the Matrix.
I hated it. And so I would recommend to anybody, if you're getting to that point, it's not about leaving your job or anything like that. I'm in a very, very specific position to where I can do this. I'm in a very blessed environment where we can financially hang with me, not necessarily working full time. But, mental health above everything else, I would say for 2023 should be at the top of everybody's list. Make sure you're good. Because like I talked about in the previous episode with the mass shootings, the domestic violence, the hate crimes, mm-hmm. the unacceptance, all this nonsense. I think a lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it was due to the abnormal stresses that COVID put on us as individuals and us as family men or women. It put a lot of stress on our work lives. It put a lot of stress on our day-to-day. So for 2023, that's my plan, especially for this podcast. I want positive vibes. I kind of want us to get back on track to what we originally wanted to do with the podcast.
Yes, sir.
Spread positive vibes, give people uplifting information, and help them make it to tomorrow.
Right.
That's the only thing that matters. So that's
my
goal for 2023.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else?
No, sir.
We're going to keep this one short and sweet. Happy New Year.
Happy holidays to everybody.
Take a shot for us. If you're a 420 promoter, go ahead and take a hit for me. We love you guys.
Stay safe out there.
You have a blessed and wonderful Happy New Year and New Year's Eve. Stay safe.
We'll see you next year.
We'll see you in the next one. Project Airwaves. I'm D.
This is Lynn.
Keep your head in the clouds.
And keep your feet on the ground, always moving forward.
Like, share, subscribe. Social media links will be in the description down below, and we will catch you next year. Bye-bye.
So long.